You know what shocked me the most? That 7 out of 10 women over 60 are actively trying to lose weight, but only a tiny fraction see real, lasting results. And the truth is, I was one of them. I remember the day I realized something was wrong. I was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my half-empty plate, proud that I had eaten less. I thought, this has to work. I'll finally drop those stubborn pounds. But weeks later, the scale hadn't moved. Worse, my energy was gone, my skin looked dull, and I felt older than ever. That's when I discovered a painful truth. Most weight loss advice for younger women doesn't work after 60. Our bodies are different now. Hormones shift, muscle mass declines, metabolism slows. Yet, many of us keep following the same old tricks, only to feel frustrated, tired, and stuck. And here's the real danger. Some of these so-called healthy habits are not just ineffective, they can actually backfire and speed up aging, weaken our bones, or even increase belly fat. That's why in today's video, I want to share the 9 biggest weight loss mistakes senior women make, and how to fix them. These are traps I've seen friends, patients, and even myself fall into. Some will sound obvious, others will surprise you. But if you avoid them, your path to a healthier, lighter, more energized body will feel so much easier. And let me give you a little teaser. Mistake number 7 is one of those things everyone swears by, but it secretly sabotages women over 60 more than anything else. You do not want to miss that one. But before we dive in, I have a quick request. If you're here because you want real, science-based advice that respects the challenges of aging, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which of these mistakes you've made before. I promise you're not alone, and your story might help another woman feel less isolated in her own journey. Because here's the truth. Weight loss after 60 is possible, but only if we stop punishing our bodies and start working with them. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's uncover these 9 mistakes together. Number 1. Skipping meals to lose weight faster. Let me ask you something. Have you ever skipped breakfast, thinking, if I just cut one meal, I'll lose weight faster? I certainly did. I remember waking up one morning, making a cup of coffee, and telling myself, I'll be strong today, no breakfast, just water and coffee until lunch. At first I felt proud. Lighter, even. But by 11 a.m., I wasn't just hungry. I was shaky, irritable, and by lunchtime, I ended up overeating twice as much as I normally would. Here's the problem. After 60, skipping meals doesn't speed up weight loss, it slows it down. Our metabolism is already more fragile because muscle mass naturally declines with age. When you starve your body, it doesn't burn fat, it clings to it. Your body thinks you're in survival mode, and instead of shedding pounds, you lose precious energy and lean muscle. And losing muscle at our age is dangerous. Muscle is what keeps our metabolism alive, our balance steady, and our independence strong. Every skipped meal is like sending your muscles a little goodbye letter. The negative consequence? You end up with less energy, slower metabolism, and ironically, more belly fat. It's the exact opposite of what you were hoping for. So what's the solution? Instead of skipping meals, focus on balanced, smaller portions spread throughout the day. Think, protein at every meal, some healthy fats, and plenty of fiber. Something as simple as Greek yogurt with berries in the morning, or an egg with a slice of avocado, can keep your blood sugar steady and prevent those afternoon crashes. The result? You'll feel satisfied, your energy will stay more stable, and your metabolism will keep working with you instead of against you. I always remind myself, skipping meals isn't discipline, it's sabotage. Real discipline is nourishing your body so it can do its job. And trust me, when you start eating smarter instead of less, you'll notice the weight comes off in a way that actually lasts. Number 2. Believing eating less is enough. For most of my life, I thought the formula was simple. Eat less, lose weight. And maybe in our 30s or 40s that seemed to work. But after 60, this belief becomes one of the biggest traps. I'll never forget a conversation I had with my friend Carol. She proudly told me, I barely eat anything these days, just a small salad at lunch and some soup at night. And yet, She was frustrated because the scale hadn't moved in months. She was constantly tired, her hair was thinning, and she felt weaker than ever. Here's the hidden truth. Eating less does not automatically mean weight loss after 60. In fact, eating too little can actually signal your body to hold on to fat and sacrifice muscle. And muscle at our age is the key to keeping metabolism alive. Without enough protein and nutrients, the body slows down, almost like a fire that loses its fuel. Think of it this way. Your metabolism is like a campfire. If you throw a few small twigs once in a while, the flame flickers weakly. But if you consistently give it logs of the right size, protein, healthy fats, fiber, it burns steadily, giving warmth and light. That's how our body works. The right food keeps the flame of metabolism strong. The negative consequence of just eating less is that you risk malnutrition, fatigue, brittle bones, and yes, even more stubborn fat around the waist. You may weigh less on the scale, but it's not the healthy weight loss you were hoping for. The solution is not to simply eat less, but to eat smarter. Make sure every meal has protein, chicken, fish, beans, or eggs. Add colorful vegetables for vitamins and fiber. Use healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. And do not fear calories from whole, nutritious foods. These are what tell your body, you are safe, you are nourished, you can let go of excess weight. The difference is night and day. Women who shift from eating less to eating right often notice they feel stronger, their skin looks healthier, and their waistline actually begins to shrink, without the exhaustion and hunger that diets used to bring. Number 3. Overdoing so-called healthy foods like juices and granola. There was a time when I believed that as long as something was labeled healthy, it couldn't possibly stand in the way of weight loss. Granola, fruit juice, energy bars, they all sounded so wholesome. I remember strolling through the farmer's market, picking up a fresh orange juice, feeling virtuous because I thought I was making the smarter choice. But by the time I got home, I felt an energy crash, and soon after, the sugar cravings kicked in. The uncomfortable truth is this. Not everything that's marketed as healthy actually supports weight loss, especially after 60. Many so-called healthy options are loaded with hidden sugars and processed ingredients. Take granola, for example. A small bowl can easily have more sugar than a slice of cake. Fruit juice, even fresh squeezed, strips away the fiber that slows down sugar absorption, leaving you with a blood sugar spike followed by a crash. And for women over 60, these blood sugar swings are especially harmful. They don't just lead to cravings, they accelerate fat storage, increase inflammation, and make it harder for the body to maintain steady energy. The negative consequence? You think you're doing everything right, but in reality, you're feeding the very cycle that makes weight loss harder. Many women end up confused, wondering why the scale won't budge, when in truth the problem is hidden in these innocent foods. The solution is to look beyond the marketing and pay attention to the content. Instead of juice, eat the whole fruit. You'll get the fiber, the vitamins, and the natural slow release of sugar. Instead of store-bought granola, try a handful of nuts with plain Greek yogurt and some fresh berries. These choices stabilize blood sugar, keep you full longer, and truly support weight loss. And the result? You'll notice fewer energy crashes, less dependence on snacks, and a body that starts responding positively. Once I made the switch, I felt more satisfied, and the constant cravings I thought were part of aging nearly disappeared. It's a small shift, but it makes a world of difference. Number 4. Ignoring the importance of strength training. When I was younger, I thought exercise meant endless hours of cardio, walking, jogging, aerobics classes. Strength training? That was for athletes or bodybuilders, not women like me. Even in my 50s, I believed that as long as I kept moving and burned calories, I'd be fine. But once I turned 60, I started noticing changes that cardio alone couldn't fix. My arms felt weaker when I carried groceries, climbing stairs left me more tired than it used to, and my balance wasn't the same. That's when I realized, ignoring strength training was silently holding me back. Here's why it matters so much. After 60, we naturally lose muscle mass every single year. And muscle isn't just about strength, It's the engine that drives our metabolism. Without it, our body burns fewer calories, even at rest. That's why many women say, "I'm eating the same as I always did, but now I keep gaining weight." It's not the food, it's the muscle loss. The negative consequence of avoiding strength training is twofold. First, your metabolism slows, making fat loss harder. Second, your bones and joints become more vulnerable. Muscle is like a protective armor. It stabilizes your body, supports your posture, and even prevents falls. Without it, daily activities like bending, lifting, or getting up from a chair become more difficult over time. The solution. You don't need heavy weights or complicated gym equipment. Start with simple bodyweight exercises, squats using a chair for support, wall push-ups, or light dumbbells for your arms. Even resistance bands can be incredibly effective. Just 2 to 3 sessions a week can make a visible difference. The results are powerful. Women who add strength training often notice not just a firmer body, but also improved energy, better balance, and faster metabolism. Clothes fit more comfortably, and movements that once felt tiring become easier again. I like to think of strength training as a gift to my future self. Every time I pick up a weight or do a squat, I'm not just working on my body today. I'm protecting my independence for tomorrow. Number 5. Sleeping too little and thinking it doesn't matter. For years, I brushed off sleep as something optional. I would stay up late watching TV, wake up early to get chores done, and tell myself, I'll catch up on rest later. But later never came. And what I didn't realize was that this habit was quietly sabotaging my weight loss efforts. The truth is, sleep is one of the most underrated tools for weight management after 60. When we don't get enough rest, our hormones fall out of balance. Leptin, the hormone that tells us we're full, drops. Meanwhile, ghrelin, the hormone that makes us hungry, rises. The result? We end up craving sugary, carb-heavy foods, even when our bodies don't really need them. I remember one particular morning after a night of only 5 hours of sleep. By 10 a.m., I was already reaching for a muffin, something I wouldn't normally crave. My body wasn't hungry, it was tired and confused. And that's exactly what poor sleep does. It tricks us into eating more, while slowing down the metabolism at the same time. The negative consequences go beyond weight. Chronic lack of sleep increases the risk of high blood pressure, weakens the immune system, and accelerates aging of the skin and brain. It's like stealing energy from tomorrow just to make it through today. The solution is to prioritize a healthy sleep routine as much as diet and exercise. Go to bed at the same time every night, keep the bedroom cool and dark, and avoid screens at least an hour before bed. Some women find a calming ritual, like reading, herbal tea, or gentle stretching, helps signal the body that it's time to rest. The result of better sleep is remarkable. Cravings decrease, energy stabilizes, mood improves, and the body finally has a chance to repair and burn fat effectively. In fact, many women are surprised to see weight come off more easily once they simply start sleeping enough. I've come to see sleep not as a luxury, but as medicine. It's the foundation that allows every other healthy choice to actually work. Number 6. Drinking too little water. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Just drink more water. And yet, this is one of the most overlooked mistakes I see women over 60 make when trying to lose weight. I used to be guilty of it myself. I'd go half the day with just coffee or tea, barely touching a glass of plain water, and wonder why I felt sluggish, bloated, and constantly hungry. Here's the hidden truth. After 60, our sense of thirst weakens. That means by the time we feel thirsty, we're often already dehydrated. And dehydration doesn't just make us tired, it actually mimics hunger. How many times have you reached for a snack when, in reality, your body was just begging for water? The negative consequences are bigger than most realize. Dehydration slows metabolism, makes digestion sluggish, and can even cause joint stiffness and headaches. And when your body is dehydrated, it holds on to every drop of fluid, leaving you feeling puffy and swollen instead of lean and energized. The good news is the solution is simple. Drink consistently throughout the day. Aiming for about 8 glasses is a good start, but more if you're active or live in a warm climate. If plain water feels boring, add slices of lemon, cucumber, or berries for flavor. Herbal teas also count, as long as they're caffeine-free. And here's a tip that changed things for me. Start the day with a full glass of water before anything else, even coffee. It's like waking your body up from the inside. Many women are surprised to find their energy picks up, digestion improves, and even cravings for sweets decrease once they make hydration a daily habit. The result: a metabolism that runs smoother, fewer false hunger signals, clearer skin, and a lighter, more comfortable body. It's such a simple shift, but it can make a dramatic difference in weight loss after 60. I like to think of water as nature's reset button. Every sip is a signal to the body. You are supported, you are refreshed, you are ready to let go of what you don't need. Number 7. Trusting fad diets. If I could go back and change one habit that wasted years of my time, it would be chasing fad diets. Low carb, no carb, juice cleanses, detox teas, you name it, I tried it. And maybe you have too. At first, the promises sound so convincing: lose 10 pounds in 10 days, or this one secret food melts belly fat. But here's the hard truth. Fad diets are one of the biggest traps for women over 60. Why? Because our bodies at this age are more sensitive. Extreme restrictions might lead to quick water loss, but they also rob us of essential nutrients. Without enough protein, calcium, or healthy fats, we don't just lose weight. We lose muscle, bone strength, and vitality. And the cruel part is, once the diet ends, the weight almost always comes back, often with a little extra. I remember trying a popular detox plan in my early 60s. For 3 days, I drank nothing but cleansing juices. By day 2, I was lightheaded, irritable, and could barely get through basic tasks. And when I went back to normal eating, not only did the weight return, but I also felt weaker than before. That's when I realized these diets weren't designed for women like us. They were designed to sell products, not protect health. The negative consequences of fad diets go beyond the scale. They can slow metabolism, trigger hormonal imbalances, weaken bones, and even accelerate the very aging we're trying to fight. For women in their 60s and beyond, that's a price too high to pay. So what's the solution? Choose balance over extremes. Instead of cutting out entire food groups, focus on long-term habits. Balanced meals with lean protein, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Build a lifestyle, not a diet. It may feel slower at first, but it creates results that last, and more importantly, it supports overall health. The result of letting go of fad diets is freedom. No more yo-yo cycle of losing and regaining. No more guilt over breaking impossible rules. Instead, you'll feel stronger, more energized, and finally at peace with food. I often remind myself, the goal is not just to lose weight, it's to age well. And fad diets will never deliver that. Number 8. Neglecting gut health. For most of my life, I never gave much thought to gut health. As long as my stomach wasn't hurting, I assumed everything was fine. But when I turned 60, little things started happening. Bloating after meals, irregular digestion, constant fatigue. At first, I thought it was just part of aging. Then I learned something surprising. The health of our gut plays a powerful role in weight loss. Inside our digestive system lives a whole community of bacteria, known as the microbiome. Some of these bacteria help us break down food, absorb nutrients, and even regulate hormones that control hunger and fat storage. Others, when they get out of balance, can trigger inflammation, cravings, and weight gain. After 60, this balance becomes even more delicate, often disrupted by medications, stress, or years of processed food. I remember one of my patients who struggled with stubborn belly fat despite eating carefully and exercising. When we focused on improving her gut health, adding more fiber, probiotics, and cutting back on processed sugar, her digestion improved, her cravings calmed, and slowly, the weight around her waist began to shrink. It wasn't magic. It was her body finally working as it should. The negative consequence of neglecting gut health is that you may end up fighting your own body. Even if you eat less or exercise more, poor gut health can keep the scale stuck and leave you feeling tired and heavy. The solution is to feed your gut the right way. Add fiber-rich foods like beans, lentils, and leafy greens. Include probiotics from yogurt, kefir, or fermented foods like sauerkraut. Drink enough water to support digestion, and cut back on artificial sweeteners and ultra-processed snacks that feed the bad bacteria. The result: better digestion, more steady energy, fewer cravings, and a body that finally responds to your efforts. Many women even notice improvements in mood and mental clarity, since gut health is closely tied to brain health as well. I like to think of the gut as a garden. If you water it, feed it, and protect it, it flourishes. If you ignore it, weeds take over. And when the garden inside you thrives, weight loss and overall vitality become so much easier. Number 9. Believing it's too late to change. Perhaps the most heartbreaking mistake I hear from women over 60 is this one: it's too late for me. I've lost count of how many times I've heard friends, patients, or even strangers say, "At my age, what difference does it make?" I used to whisper the same words to myself. I'd look in the mirror, see the changes in my body, and think, why even try? Maybe this is just the way it has to be now. That belief almost stopped me from making the changes that ended up giving me back energy, confidence, and joy. Here's the truth I want you to hear clearly. It is never too late. The human body, even after 60, is incredibly adaptable. Muscles can be rebuilt. Metabolism can be reawakened. Energy can return. I've seen women in their 70s and even 80s begin gentle strength training, improve their nutrition, and lose not just weight, but also aches, fatigue, and the heaviness they carried for years. The negative consequence of believing it's too late is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't try, nothing changes. If you convince yourself the effort won't matter, you rob yourself of the chance to feel better, to live better. The solution is to start where you are, with what you can. Maybe that means adding one protein-rich snack each day. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk after dinner. Maybe it's choosing water instead of soda. Small steps compound, and before you know it, they create real results. The result of letting go of the too late mindset is hope. And hope is powerful. When you believe change is possible, you begin to act differently. You give yourself permission to try, and that's when transformation happens. I often remind myself, age is not a barrier, it's simply a stage. And every stage of life can be lived with strength, health, and dignity. The choice is always ours. Looking back at these 9 mistakes, I realize how easy it is to fall into them. Skipping meals, eating too little, chasing fad diets, ignoring sleep or exercise. On the surface, they feel like effort, like discipline. But the truth is, they often backfire, leaving us more frustrated, more tired, and more discouraged. What I've learned, and what I hope you take with you, is that weight loss after 60 isn't about punishment or restriction. It's about working with your body, not against it. Nourishing it, moving it, resting it, hydrating it, trusting that even now, it can respond in amazing ways. I think of my friend who once believed it was too late. She started with one simple change: adding protein to breakfast. That small shift gave her more energy, which led her to try light strength training. Months later, she not only lost weight, but she also gained confidence she thought was gone forever. That's the real message. It is never too late, and it is never hopeless. The body you live in today is still capable of healing, adapting, and surprising you. The scale is only one measure, but the true victory is waking up with more energy, walking with more strength, and living with more joy. So here's my challenge for you. Choose just one of these mistakes to correct this week. Don't try to change everything at once. Just one. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's committing to better sleep. Maybe it's letting go of the belief that it's too late. Whatever it is, let that be your starting point. Because small steps, done consistently, create powerful results. If this video gave you hope or clarity, please remember to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who might need this encouragement. And tell me in the comments, which of these 9 mistakes have you struggled with the most? Your story could be the inspiration another woman needs today. We are in this together, and I promise, you are stronger than you think.